Okay, we're going to start with clay. So you need your big pumpkin and your clay and your glue and your popsicle stick, and if you have a putty knife, your putty knife. So, and I have my cornstarch in a little shaker. So we're going to start with these oak leaves. So you want to sprinkle some in your oak leaves, and then you'll brush those out. And then go ahead and open your clay. And I didn't tell you this either, I do have a zip bag to put mine in. And if I go too fast, tell me to slow down, okay? I'm just going to take a piece of it. I'm going to use my popsicle stick to cut it apart. A putty knife works too. If you don't have a zip bag, you can put it in some of that wrap that was around the paints. Warm it up a little bit. And then you want to put it, I'm going to make a big leaf. I'll make a bunch of leaves actually. So we're going to make a bunch of leaves. You want to take it and take a little ball of it and put it in the mold and just press it good. I like to use the heel of my hand. If you don't have enough, you can add a little bit more to it. That kind of a shadow. See if I can put a little bite on it. Okay, and then there's a little ridge on that mold. And what you're going to do is slide your popsicle stick and do it gentle because it will pull it out if you don't. You might want to use your fingers and just pull off the extra clay. And I keep my scraps and put them in my clay ball. I can usually do it with my fingers better than I can the popsicle stick or a tool. And then you just want to press it out. Okay. Let's make a couple before we glue them on. Okay, so we're gonna let's make 4 or 5. Soften your clay up. I got way too much that time. I like to just take my thumb and push it off. But if that's not comfortable for you, you can use your popsicle stick. Push it back down in there if it pulls out. Maybe after all this COVID stuff is over, we can meet sometime. Okay, there's my second one. Okay, I'm going to put a little more in. Just press it. How's that working for you? You getting them made? If you make one and you don't like the looks of it, just ball it back up and do it again. One nice thing about clay, you can just ball it up and do it again. Press it good and pop it out. Three big ones might be enough. Let's see how that looks on there. Yeah, let's do 3. Okay, now I'm going to turn them over gently. And I'm going to take my Type Bond, or whatever white glue you have. This one's getting low. I'm just putting the glue on them. Uh-oh, got my popsicle stick. Well, my glue's being stubborn. I usually keep them upside down for that very reason. There it comes. Keep you upside down. Okay. And then you want to, I hate to use my finger, but I'm going to use my finger. You can use your finger if you got an extra old brush around. You can use a brush, or you can use your popsicle stick if you want to. But spread it all the way to the edge so that you've got it spread out good. And you want to take your pumpkin and you will lay it down and press it to the shape of the pumpkin. That's why clay is better than resin for this, because resin you can't shape like this. Okay, and take another one. Spread your glue out. And we're going to put some little leaves on it too and overlap them. Oh yeah, that looks so pretty. Now, you can do yours however you want to. You don't have to follow my pattern. So just however you like to put your leaves on, you can. I'm probably too fast, so tell me to slow down. I'll slow down. I'll put my glue, I'll put this one on, I'll slow down. I tend to be too fast. You want to make sure you press them down. If the glue squirts out, just wipe that extra off. Baby wipe. So I'm going to use a baby wipe where my glue squirted out. Not that that really matters. Okay, there's how mine looks. It's fine. I'm too fast. I'm always too fast. I'll show you what we're aiming for. Now this is one I put, this has got copper on it too, but this is what we're going to make. We're making it look like this with the leaves and the acorns. Okay, now next we're going to be making little aprons. That's fine. Just let me know when you have yours glued. And you want to go back and make sure you've got them pressed down. Like right here, Mom. See right there? You want to press it down with the shape. Not so much you take the pattern off the leaf, but that looks cute. I love making these. Now, you don't have to make yours just like mine. You might be more inventive than me. My mold's pretty dirty. I think you can see that. Okay, when you get those 3 glued down, let's start on some small leaves. So there's another little oak leaf right here. And you want to put a little cornstarch in it and press it down. You actually can make, I haven't tried this, but I'm going to next week. You can make these ahead of time and freeze them. I haven't tried that, but I'm going to make, I'll show you what I'm going to think about making. Find my picture. Well, I might not make this next week, but in the coming weeks, I'm going to make this. So this is a real Christmas wreath. Can you see that? And I'm going to try to make that with the new molds. But I'm going to freeze a bunch of them because it'd be too many to make at once. Okay, let's make some little leaves. And we might want to make like 5 of these. There's one. I usually use cornstarch every time. Because the first time I don't, it's going to be the time it sticks in there. Although I've never really had one to stick bad. And I use too big a ball. Just pull it off my fingers. Make sure you're keeping your your clay in a bag or wrapped up in some saran wrap or something. Or wrap it in a package it's in. Because you can tell you probably can tell your little handful is probably getting a little dry already. That's the purpose of it, to dry. Because we're gonna make 5 of these. I wished I could see what you're doing. You'll have to take a picture when you finish. You'll be an expert at making these leaves by the time we finish. Okay, that's 4 for me. That is probably not enough to make one, so I'm going to get a little more clay. Okay, I'll give you time. Don't worry, Debbie. Let me know when you have your little leaves done. Now these pumpkins I sprayed, if you do this on your own, I sprayed them first with shellac before I sent them to you, so that they wouldn't have you bleed through. I don't think they will, but you never know. So I sprayed them shellac first. Now the glue comes out. Your next step is going to be to glue the 5 leaves. So go ahead and get yours done. And I'm going to put my glue on mine. I'll leave my glue upside down in that cup, and then it's ready to come out now. Hopefully. Okay, now I picked up an old brush I had, so I'm going to brush. I don't like to stick my fingers in it. I'm just going to brush the glue to the edges. Glue. Okay, when you get your 5 leaves made and glued, you can see that there's room for them, and you want to kind of lay them on top of the other one because that looks more natural, and then pat them down gently. Oops, oops. Let me show you. It's right here. Need to hang me a light up there next. Make my, okay, now I'm gonna put the next one right here. And you can put yours wherever you feel like they should go. I'm gonna slide this one under here in the other direction so that they look natural. Put this one on top of that one. And lay this one on top of those. Just kind of just place them wherever you feel like they would look pretty. Okay, and just let me know when you have your leaves glued down. Just make them have a natural look. If you think it needs more, you can add another one. Again, I'll lay it where you can see it. I'm going to overlap them somewhat and turn them in different directions. And then you might see that they're not flat to the pumpkin. You want to press them down just a little bit while they're soft. And actually it dries faster than you think it will. It won't be good and dry till tomorrow, but it'll be dry enough to paint today. Okay, next. Oh, okay. You could don't let me rush you, because I know I can go too fast because I've done this a gazillion times. Okay, next I want you to powder your little acorns, and we're gonna make a bunch of these. So just start making acorns. If you have the extra ones, that's okay. You can use them on the next one. It's a good day to do this. Good rainy day. You can't do anything else outside. I have some pansies I need to plant. I planted my mother some. I need to get my own planted. We went to an estate sale early yesterday. So when I got home, I took a nap instead of planting my pansies. So. Okay, you want to press it into your acorn mold just like before. And they want to pop out, so. And I'm going to go ahead and press another couple in before I take them out. So I'm just going to press another one in. The little ones are the easiest ones to do, really. The larger ones are harder to get out pretty. For example, the mermaid ones, I have a hard time getting a mermaid one out with clay. That's why I like to use resin when I can on the mermaids. We're going to make a bunch of these, so just make you a bunch. Okay, see I filled up all four of mine, and then I'm just going to hopefully they pop out at the same time. You have to be kind of gentle with them because they're tiny. Well, some of them are tiny. And there they come out. Okay, I've got 4. Then I want to sprinkle again. Dust it. Move these over so I don't mash them. Okay, we'll make some more. Make at least 10. If you look at your pumpkin, you see a spot that looks like it needs to be pressed down, go ahead and press it down now, because it's still bendable. I always look at mine and say, oh, it needs to be pressed down right there. Knock my paint over. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make one more batch of them because we're gonna need them. I always put the sprinkle each time. Okay. Oh, that one came out in my hand. You want to make sure it's nice and clean around that little micro rim so it has a pretty edge. When I do a class, I'm used to making them, showing people, and then walking around watching people make them. So I think that's why I work fast. So I'll try to slow down. I miss doing classes live. I'm enjoying this. cute little acorns. Okay, now what we're going to do, once you get your acorns made, we're going to glue them around your pumpkin. And you can glue them on the leaves, around the leaves. I'll show you on this one. See, some of them are off the side, down the edge, so that it kind of cascades down your pumpkin a little bit. So I'm going to put a couple right there in the kind of holes. So I'm going to put my glue on a couple of the big ones. Ooh, too much glue. I'm going to glue a couple of them up. I'm going to glue 4 of them up. I'm going to mash some of the ones I got made. Okay, so like right here, hey, wait a second. Okay, so right here is kind of an empty spot, and that's where I'm going to place one of them. Kind of where the leaves cross. And press it down to make sure that it's down good. And then I have another spot kind of under this little handle, or stem, not a handle. I'm going to press it down right there. And then right here seems to be an empty spot on that leaf. So I'm going to put one right there. Ooh, I don't think so. That's going to cover that up. I think I'll put it down here. That's so big it covered up the whole leaf. So you just kind of move them around where you think they look pretty. Okay, I'll put some little ones on. Okay, now I'm going to put some like just tumbling down. And I kind of stuck my fingernail on that one. That's okay, because acorns aren't perfect. Another one right here. And now I'm just putting them randomly wherever I think they look like a spot I could put some. There's a big one. I'm going to put a little one right here. Little ones look good on top of the bigger leaves. Here's one tumbling down. So I'm going to glue the rest of these up. So I've used 12. I'll use 12 by the time I'm finished. It's starting to rain hard here. Okay, I'm gonna put this one down. Let's see if you can see how I'm doing it. Down the side. Put another big one right here. And if they go in the little crease in the pumpkin, just press them into it so that it follows the shape of the pumpkin. I'm going to put a little one right here on top. And you can even put acorns on top of acorns. I'm going to put one right here on top of these to give it a little dimension. Okay, that's how mine looks. Now I'm going to go back and look and see if any of them need to be pressed down. Yeah, that looks good. And right there's one that's sticking up. Gently press it. That was pretty. Okay, how you doing on that? And my hands are gooey. Are yours that way? Oh, okay. You're ahead of me then. I'm cleaning my hands off a little bit. Okay, that's all for that pumpkin once we get that one done. So we'll set him aside and let him dry a little bit. Let's get your middle one, middle size one. And we are going to do a fleur-de-lis on that one. Or a rooster. Which would you rather do, a rooster? Let's do a rooster on the little one. Let's do a fleur-de-lis. So that's the big shape, and powder him good. And he's going to take a pretty good sized piece of clay. I'm going to use about that much, okay? That might be too much, and I'm going to warm it up a little bit. Now, bigger ones are harder. That might not be enough. I better add a little bit more. If you don't think you have enough, it's better to have too much in your hand instead of not enough. Now, you want, since this is a big thing, you want to take it and take your piece of clay and pat it out with your hands, like a pancake, like a flattened biscuit. Yeah, that's about big enough. And then just take your heel of your hand and press it in there. And you might have to fold it over a little bit to get it in all the parts. The bigger ones are harder to make. And then start removing it with your thumb. If you remove too much, you can put it back. Right there, I removed too much right there, so I'm just going to push it back in there. If you think you took too much out, push it back in there. That's what I did. Now I'm going to take my popsicle stick. I'm not rubbing real hard with this popsicle stick, just enough to remove some of that extra. Clay. And then like it gets in the sides, I like to pick that out with the bottom of the popsicle stick. See, this is extra in here. So you want to get all that extra out so it's a pretty smooth edge. Now right here I pulled too much out, so I'm going to push that back in. Yeah. That micro rim allows you to do that. That's something they added this past year. to all these companies. My paint company and my OD company are just having trouble getting their materials in. There's nothing, like I have 4 paint orders in. One is coming Tuesday, but it's a small one. And I'm running out of paint. That's a good thing. Okay, the larger ones are harder to take out, so make sure you've got all the pieces in. And make sure it's pressed in that all the edges are clean. You can see that little micro rim all the way around it. And then turn it over, and it helps to bend your mold. So see how I'm bending my mold, and let's see if I can get it on the camera, and it's popping out. And then bend it from the bottom. If you mess it up, just make another one. Bend your mold and pull gently. And then pull from the side. It's kind of tricky to get this big one out. There's mine. Mine come out. Oh, yay. And it looks terrible when you first take it out, so you can put it back to shape. It's hard to get out. Harder. About tore mine. Hey, Ann. You can start with us, Ann. Debbie, this is Ann. Ann is our other student. We're starting on the second pumpkin, Ann. This is the first one. This is the first one. We did oak leaves and acorns. And when we're finished, you can go back and watch that. Okay. So we're on the second pumpkin. All right, that one's kind of tricky to make. How'd yours go, Debbie? And if it messed up, just wad it up and do it again. Mine's not perfect, but I'm going to put mine on anyway. The larger ones are much harder to do. And Ann, I did not include glue in your kit, but you can use Type Bond Quick and Thick, or you can use this. I get these at the dollar store. At the Dollar Tree, I think's the name of it. It's just that Aleene's glue. If I've been thinking, I could have included some because I had some. Oh, we're going to do a rooster on the small one. Oh, you can do a rooster, Debbie. Do a rooster. I'm going to put a rooster on the small one. It doesn't matter which one it goes on. Do the rooster. Put the rooster on yours, and I'll put the rooster on my small one. Okay, you're going to lay it down. And the larger ones are harder to make. Your rooster, I hope it turned out better than my fleur-de-lis is. My fleur-de-lis is a little rough looking. And you want to gently pat it so that it's making contact with all the indentions in the pumpkin. There, mine looked upside down. There you go. Now, if you're afraid that's going to slide off, you can use paper tape to hold it on. I'm just going to leave it laying like that. I'm going to prop it against my other pumpkin. Let it dry for a little bit. Make sure it's down good. Then I'm going to go to my little pumpkin. And that's when I'm going to make my rooster. So we just got them opposite. Doesn't matter. I'm going to put the cornstarch in. Especially in the larger ones, it makes a big difference. Then I'm going to take my clay. I might need a little bit bigger piece. Oh, thank you, Ann. Well, see, Ann, I teach classes, but I can't teach classes since COVID. So I thought, well, I'll just do a kit and do an online class. So if you enjoy this, I'll do some more. It helps to have somebody show you how. And it's more fun. I guess I could do this on Zoom And then I could see you. I have to, or Google Classroom, as my son's a technology facilitator, so I'm sure he could give me some better ideas, but. And there is a way to bring people on Facebook Live, but it's not giving me an invitation, so I don't know why. I made a heart too. You don't have to follow my things I'm doing. And if you have extra molds, you can use those. I love this rooster. I've used him on some things, other things. And it helps if you turn him over and adjust carefully. Oh, he came out much better than Fleur de Lis. And then I'm going to put some glue on him. Thank you, Ann. Well, we have to adapt to the situation, don't we? And this situation is like no other. And just when you think things are getting safe again, my next door neighbors all have COVID. I have not been close to them. But I told them if they needed anything, let us know. We'd get groceries, medicine, whatever they needed. They both teach. The wife came home Monday, and I told Roger when I saw her car, I said, that's not good. And sure enough, she has COVID. And then the husband was tested. I don't know if he's positive or not, but he said he had the symptoms. So, and then they have a son who's 21. He has juvenile arthritis and just had a knee replacement 3 weeks ago. So I know they're really concerned about him. Oh, look at that. It's just too cute. Now, you want to make sure, see right here, that he's not sticking. Make sure he sticks down. He'll look better. Just don't press him so hard you change his, his design on the outside. That is too cute. Now, if you really want to be creative, you could paint him like a real rooster, but I'm not going to be that creative today. We're just going to paint him all one color. Okay, he's cute. Let him lay on the side. Hey there, rooster. Okay, now we want to put some more decoration on this one. Since you put a rooster, Debbie, on yours, you can put leaves on this one. I'm going to put, this sounds weird, but I'm going to put little fleur de lises on mine. And I don't know, look at that little design. That looks almost like a thing of wheat. That looks like a flame. So I'm going to do the little fleur de lis. And Debbie, since you're doing the rooster, I'm going to put some probably 3 big leaves or 3 small leaves on the rooster. And you can see that glue really glues it good. He's not sliding anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to do my fleur de lis. I'm going to make it like a pancake so that it's big enough to cover the space. And then press it down. How's yours going, Debbie? Ann, are you just watching or are you doing some of yours? Press them in. Sometimes with the cornstarch, they want to come out when you don't want them to. And that little micro rim enables you to get the good smooth edge. Thank goodness. Okay, and it's coming out. Oh yeah, that one turned out really cute. And then I need some glue. A little glue brush. Okay. Oh, I understand what you mean. Enjoying the quiet. This is just going to be a different kind. Now, when you put one on, it gets it a little out of balance, so you need to put the other one on the opposite side. Same with the leaves. Oh, okay. All right. You want me to slow down, Debbie? Hey, Debbie, we'll go to the rooster. Lay there. Here, I'll go to my rooster, too. Can't get him to stay still. Stay still. He's going to roll over on my rooster. There we go. Okay. So, Debbie, let's make some little leaves for the rooster. I'm in my basement studio, so the floor is cement. So when you see me pressing something onto the floor, it's sweepable. In fact, it has all of this week's sweeping, so I need to sweep the floor. Well, actually, I did sweep it yesterday. Never mind. I'm wrong. I was looking for a screw I dropped, so I just swept. Okay, there's a little leaf. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 little leaves. There's 1. Okay, we're going to make 3 little leaves, Debbie. Can you feel how the clay gets drier as you work? Again, see the micro lid? See? That's what enables it to come out so pretty. Anytime I'm doing a curved surface, I always use the clay. If I'm doing a flat surface and I made like mermaids and I need a whole bunch of them, especially the larger ones, I use resin. We do a resin class, but that resin is $20 a box. I tried to buy it wholesale, but they told me I did not have a large enough Facebook following. And that I had not tagged their product enough. Well, I haven't tagged their product because I wasn't selling it. So I guess I have to start tagging their product for them to allow me to use it, to sell it. Right now I get the resin on Amazon. Okay, I have 3 leaves made. So I'm going to glue them all the way to the edge. If you mess one up gluing it or something, just wad it up and make you another one. 1 pack of clay is more than enough clay to do this project, depending on what you add to your pumpkin. Okay, we want him to balance, so we want to put a little more weight on this side. And we might want to put another rooster on the back. Here's our leaves. I think I'll do mine this way. And wipe that glue off right there. Okay. And now, once you lay it down, you need to go back and press them flat. You don't want any gaps. Okay, now, we want to put a couple acorns up here. So let's first sit him up and see if he's balanced. He's a little out of balance. If he wants to tilt too much, we'll put something on the back side. acorns, a little cluster of acorns or something. Okay, I'm going to make a few acorns. And I believe I'm just going to make little ones, because those are pretty big. So I'll press my clay into them. Oh, the birds. Oh. Is that the white one with the birds or the little blue one? Is that the one you mean? I found that little cabinet, that little jewelry cabinet in a thrift store. If you mean the white one, I found it at an antique store. I love that one with the birds, yeah. Well, you're welcome to copy it. It was fun to do. I have it on display at the store where I sell my paint to show people the paint color. But I can't sell my IOD there because someone sells it. Well, actually, it's not close. It's like 15 miles away, but they don't let people sell very close to each other right now. So I can't sell it at Newton. I have to sell it at, I sell my IOD at Lincoln and online. Now on these little ones, you have to be aware of balance. So yeah, he needs one on that side. So I'm gonna put an acorn on that side. I think I'm gonna put a little one. And don't forget to dust it. Even just a little bit of dust. Cornstarch makes a difference. And that little piece of clay is getting really dry. He's got a lot of cornstarch in him. It gets a little bit brittle as it gets dry. The surface is getting dirty. Yeah, that color, it's the first time I'd used that color. It's gorgeous. White sells the best for me, but I love experimenting with color. Okay, now let your pumpkin sit and see if he's going to balance. So mine looks a little wobbly. I think he needs another acorn right there. Because that rooster is big. So I'm going to put one more little acorn right on the back. How you doing with it, Debbie? One thing during classes, when I did live classes, it's hard to get something completely finished and painted without using, without it drying. So sometimes I wish I could have 2-day classes, like part A and part B. So we might have to do that on something. Might want to put a transfer on something. Now let's see if he's balanced. You gotta make sure he balances. Oh, yep, he's balanced. Yep, mine balances. So here's my little rooster one. I've got 3 little leaves and some acorns and my rooster. That's fine, Debbie. Make your leaves. You're fine. I'm not rushing you. My rooster's legs are a little crooked. He's cute. I'm making sure my little pumpkin's balanced. I don't want him to fall over. Yeah, he's balanced. He's balanced. Now with your last one, when you get to it, Debbie, be inventive. Put hearts on it, put fleur-de-lis on it, put whatever you want on it. Another rooster is fine, whatever you want to put on it. I'm going to put fleur-de-lis on mine, just for something different. See, Debbie, if I was with you, I could make you some acorns and help you out a little bit. That's what I do in a live class. Now this little mold has hearts on it. You can put hearts on your pumpkin, whatever you want. Or you can do more leaves and acorns. Bunny rabbit, that little bunny rabbit's cute. If these smaller pumpkins, balance is an issue, so you want to, I'm going to put one right back here. Okay. I'm going to make one more fleur-de-lis, and I'm going to put it on the other side. Now you should have enough. You should have some clay left over when you finish to do another project sometime. Make sure you wrap it. Your leftover clay, wrap it. I wrap mine in Saran wrap or press and seal. Then I put it in 2 plastic bags, and I put a little baby wipe with a little bit of water on it, or a paper towel with a little bit of water on it inside it, the bag, just to have a little moisture in the bag. And that really does keep it good and moist. If you bend the mold, it helps you take these bigger ones out. And that one turned out really cute. Be my little French pumpkin with my little fleur-de-lis on it. Now you can do the rabbit, the rooster, whatever you want on yours. That balance is pretty good. Yes, look at this one, Anne. You see this one? See, these acorns are on top of these leaves. And in my little one, the acorns are on top of the leaves. I think this one's balanced. He's not going to fall over. I may put a little fleur. I'll put something else back there. What am I going to put? I might put another little fleur-de-lis. I don't think it can take a big one. Now I've used, to give you an idea, this was a whole U-pack of clay. And I've used probably a little more than half of it. Probably 2/3 of it. And then I will wrap this in Saran wrap or press and seal. And I'll put a wet paper towel, wet baby wipe in it to keep it moist. because it will dry out. I've never had one dry out, but I've heard people complain about them drying out. Of course, most of the time I use a pack when I open it really pretty quickly. And we have beautiful Christmas molds. I'm going to be using them to make, that's what I was showing Debbie a while ago. This is a real wreath, but I'm going to use my molds and make a real Christmas. I'm using this before you see how real one looks. So that's something I'll be doing in the next couple weeks. That might make a good class too. And do it on a round circle. Make a door hanger. How's yours looking, Debbie? Now, if you have another mold, it's fun to put. I'll show you on one of these other ones I have in just a minute. Let me put this one opposite that one. There. That's my little French one. Let me show you this other one I have. Yikes, I bumped the camera. Stop. I bumped the camera, sorry. This is one I made. This is one mold. That comes from Classic Elements, I think. And then the little beads are on one of the other molds. And on this one, I put copper patina on it. But look how hard this gets. It gets really hard. That's the one I've made. I brought that one home. I'm going to keep that one for myself. I haven't decorated my mantle yet, but let me show you one other one I have. This is a Happy Disaster one. This one I just used these little swirls on it. But this pumpkin was styrofoam. And when I sprayed a finish on it, I used a spray finish, it melted it. But I love how it looks. Because it looks like a real pumpkin. So I'm keeping that one too. That was one I made I will keep. So you can use a lot of different molds with them if you have different molds. Most people buy one and then you start a collection. You buy some more because they're so much fun to do. Okay, I'm going to wipe my area off a little bit. Debbie, let me know when you have yours done and we'll start painting. So I just wrap mine up tight in a piece of press seal. And then I put it in a zip bag. And I put a wet baby wipe in it. And I try to press as much of the air out as I can. And then I'll put this in a bigger bag. Okay, painting is next. Yeah, that's the best way to keep it fresh and keep it from drying out. Well, I think we've done good on time. Okay, that's what I'm doing too, Debbie. I'm using a baby wipe. I don't have a sink in my studio downstairs here. And I told my husband, we have it, it's plumbed for a bathroom. And I think we need to put us a bathroom in here. Just a little half bath, that's all we need. It's a full basement, so there's plenty of room. Well, I look like a hoarder down here, but yeah. So I have furniture everywhere. And Christmas ornaments, because I sell vintage Christmas. That clay is tricky to get off your hands, Debbie. And mine are not going to be real clean. Somebody asked me the other day on a live, said, how do you ever get all that paint off your hands? I said, the paint's easy to get off. The clay paint comes right off. The clay under my fingernails, not so much. That's pretty good. Okay, Debbie, you back? Okay, DIY paint is really full of pigment. So sometimes it's best just to water it down just a little bit. You can do that with a spray bottle, or you can do like me and just add some water. So I'm going to paint the big one, this Summer Crush color. You don't have to. You've got Old 57, and you've got Monet's Garden, which is a green. So I thought those would make a pretty color combination. Okay, so Debbie, I'm going to use, you don't have to use the colors I'm using. You can use what you want. I'm going to use Summer Crush on my big pumpkin. You can use what you want. I poured some in a plate because DIY paint's a thick paint. I'm going to water it down a little bit. If you get it too watery, just add some more paint to it. Now, you can use it straight like it is. It's up to you. I like to water mine down a little bit. And I can't remember. I think I sent y'all a chip brush, big chip brush. So I'm not going to paint the stem to last. Now, this is tender. If you wanted to wait, you could wait till it's dry, but you don't have to. But you want to gently paint it. You don't want to be rough. And that's another reason I watered it down. In fact, I could water it down some more, but yeah, I'm going to put a little more water in it. Do it this way so I don't do too much. DIY paint can be watered down 10 to 1, they say. And we're going to paint it all but the very bottom and then let it dry while we paint the other ones. And if you have a brush that you like better than the chip brush, go ahead and use whatever brush you want to use. The chip brush will work just fine. It's kind of hard to get under the stem. We'll paint the stem last. If it's watered down a little bit, it goes in all the little crevices better. Although that's not going to be a problem because we're going to distress it by using a darker paint to like glaze it. Okay, can you see how mine's covering it pretty good? I'm not pressing hard, go light, because you don't want to mess up your designs. And it's good to hold it upside down or sideways so you can look around underneath the little leaves and acorns. And then I'm going to paint it up and down because to go with the shape of the pumpkin. And you've got lots of paint, so if you want to paint all your pumpkins this color, you can. I know that little paint looks like it's not a lot, but you can see that I only poured a little bitty out. That's how much I still have left in a cup. I wanted some little glass jars to mail, but I could not find any that didn't cost an arm and leg. Oops, stuck my finger in it. Long fingernails, that's what get it does. Okay, don't stick your finger in it. Okay, I'm going to do all but the very bottom where it sits. Okay. Now, if your brush loses hairs, sometimes those brushes lose the hair, just pull them off. Oh, thank you. That's the first one I've ever sent. So, but I have packed a lot of things in my life. I have an Etsy store where I sell a lot of Christmas ornaments and glassware, so I can pack. I'm glad it worked. I was a little worried about the paint. I thought if I put the paint in a little box, that would help it. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush out. And I'm going to go to my middle pumpkin. And I think I'll do him the green. And I'm just going to paint this one. See if this is, ooh, it's thick. I might have to water it down too. I should have maybe gone with a different green, but I like this green. Yep, I'm gonna need to get a plate and water it down. How's the paint going, Debbie? This is DIY's paint. This is Monet's Garden. I better move that around because I'm going to splash. One reason I want it watered down is to go into all those crevices on the fleur-de-lis designs. It's this really thick paint. It's full of pigment. So when you water it down, you don't lose color. It's a great paint. That's why I started selling it. I started out using latex paints to paint furniture. I just didn't like the way it looked. So then I went to making my own chalk paint, and it's grainy. And then I used Andy Sloan, and it was expensive, but I liked it, but it's expensive. And I tried a couple other kinds, and then I tried DIY, and I love DIY. The only thing I have to paint more than 2 times on a piece of furniture is white swan. I always say it backwards. You can see you have lots of paint, so you can paint something else with it. Make you some more pumpkins or a sign. You'll probably want to go back and paint the bottom after all this is dry. Okay. And you can see that still have lots of paint left. I bet you saw that little paint thing and you thought, oh, that's not enough paint. Me too. She's quite, Debbie Beard is quite the businesswoman too, though. Don't let anybody fool you. She knows what she's doing. I'm in a group with her, and I do the video level too, and she's got so many good suggestions. Bottom. Okay, last one. I'm gonna paint my little one, old 57. This is my favorite color besides the white. So I do like white swan. But as far as colors go, this old 57 is my favorite color. And I think it's thin enough. That mermaid piece that Debbie made influenced me big. I made a mermaid dresser and sold it like hotcakes. And so I made another one. I've made about almost 20 mermaid pieces. Dressers, end tables, all kinds of pieces. Little mermaid boxes, treasure boxes. Sometimes if you can pick it up and look and see, make sure you get all underneath parts. Now that one's dry. Now this is the puzzle. We have to wait. Oh no, I've made like 20 pieces. I just sold a mermaid lingerie chest. Let's see, a little green mess. I saw a spot that had, I think it's glue. Okay, now this is going to take a while to dry, so we can do one of two things. We can take a break and come back today, or we can, I can come back on tomorrow and show you how to finish it. So y'all tell me what you want me to do, because this is the next step. After it dries, like this is dry, like this one's dry. We're going to take the brown paint. Well, actually, we're not. We're going to take the Big Top, and we're going to paint it with Big Top. And the reason we paint it with Big Top first is it keeps, like if we just put, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to distress it with the brown paint. You kind of glaze it. And so what we're going to do is we'll really thin this brown paint down. After we paint this with Big Top, we'll thin this down when the Big Top is dry, and we will take this and water it down, and we'll put it on it, and it'll go in all the little pieces, and you can see on this one how it does. And then we'll wipe it down. So what do y'all want to do? Debbie, it's up to you. We can take a break and come back and say an hour, or we can do it tomorrow, or I can record it tomorrow afternoon. Because it's going to take a long time to dry, especially with it raining today. It's a very humid day, so it's going to take it longer to dry. So I thought we could do it today, but it looks like it's not going to dry fast enough. Like this one is, look how wet this one still is. Or we can dry them with hair dryers. So what do you want to do? Allison's doing, she's not the one, she's watching, so, I mean, Ann's watching, so, tomorrow? Okay, Debbie, what time's good for you? I have to take my mother to church, so I can't do it till after 12. Anytime after 12 tomorrow is good for me. It's up to you, Debbie. Anytime after 12, whatever suits you. Oh yeah, I'll save it. I'll record it. It'll be here. Ann. Okay, Debbie, what time's good for you tomorrow? And Ann, if you can't, I mean, Debbie, if you can't come, I'll do it and it'll be recorded. And it'll be here private for y'all. 2's perfect. Okay, here's your homework, Debbie. I want you to, when your pumpkins are completely dry, I want you to paint the bottom. Okay? And then when that's completely dry, I want you to take your Big Top and paint one coat of Big Top all over it. Okay, so you have homework. So I want you to, I'm going to write it down. Paint the stem, paint the bottom, and the stem. And then, when dry, I want you to paint one coat of Big Top. And I'll do mine too. And then we'll come back at 2 tomorrow. The Big Top is this one. It's a sealer. It's liquidy, very liquidy. I hope you got that, Ann. I hope I put it in your package. It's supposed to be. It's very thin. It looks like milk. Okay, it's a Big Top is a sealer. So you paint everything, paint the bottoms and the stems, and then everything one coat of Big Top. And then we'll come back tomorrow and I'll show you how to do the last part. Okay, good. Big Top is a good sealer. I use Big Top on the top of pieces of furniture, like end tables, dressers, tabletops, because it gives a sealer, and then I wax over top of it to give it that wax look. Excuse me. Okay, I do have a head. See, I have a head. Okay, how'd that go? What do y'all think? Yeah, I always do a sealer before I antique it, because that way, if you don't, it looks dirty. And I'll show you on this one. Can you see how it goes in all those little... Well, it's hard to see because I put copper on that one, but see right in here all that brown? See right in here all that brown? It really... Oh, I know I can show you on this one too, because this one has lots of crevices. And it gives it an aged look. Now, some people don't like it, so if you don't like the aged look, you don't have to do it. But so we'll meet back tomorrow at 2, and meanwhile, we'll do our homework. We'll paint the bottoms, paint the stems, and Big Top everything. And then these will be dry enough that we won't damage them when we wipe them off. Okay, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, see you tomorrow at 2. If you can't come, I'll go ahead and do it, and I'll talk to you like you're here, and I'll save it, and it'll be here for you to see. And I'll save this one too, so you can see it anytime. You're welcome to come back and look at this anytime. Okay, y'all have a good afternoon. I'm going to my friend's house. She has a carload of fabric, and my mother sews little dresses for Africa, and so I'm going to get cloth from others to make more little dresses for Africa. So everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you. So I have put a finish on mine. I hope you got your finish on yours. And they're starting to get hard. You might see some shrinkage. Like right here, you'd see some shrinkage in that one. I need some more light. It's a little dark in here. I have to set my other light up. But don't worry about the shrinkage, because the staining, and then the next thing it will do is going to cover that up. So you have some brown. And this is actually not DIY paint. This is just some flat paint that I have that I use. The DIY little layered chocolate is a little bit dark for this. So you want to put a little bit in a container or in something that you can water down. A little cup, a little plate, something like that, and you'll need to water it down. So I'm going to do it probably double. So if you need to go get something to put that in, I'll give you some in a minute. You want it real watery. That looks pretty watery. And then I think I'll start with my little one. So just let me know when you have yours watered down and you're ready. I've got gloves on today. My allergies are kicking in. I've been washing too many dishes without my gloves on. That happens to me. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to start with my little one. And we're going to take this watered down brown paint and our brush. And it's going to look scary, but we're just going to wear it. You need a paper towel too. And I didn't get a paper towel myself, so I have to jump up and get one. A baby wipe will work too. I'm going to jump up and get my paper towel. Or rag. Okay, and you'll make sure you've got it all covered. And it'll look pretty terrible. And you're just going to gently, don't rub hard, just gently wipe it. Or kind of blot it. I think this is the step that makes them look nice. Keeps them from looking brand new. Now see, if we were in my class, I would have baby wipes for you. My classroom, but we're not, so I think I'll take a baby wipe. Or a damp paper towel. And just wipe off what you don't want. If you wipe off too much, you can bring it all back. You can just do it again. Don't rub too hard though. You'll rub the clay off because it's still not hard. And I like a dark antique look, so I'm not going to rub a lot off. I need to get my other light going. It's dark in here today. Move my light over. There, that's a little better. You can see it. And hold it by the stem and then check it. Make sure you don't have any runs. If you have a little spot that has shrunken a little bit, you can put a little bit of paint on that and darken that. Set up, little boy. There it goes. Okay. Now right here's the spot that I see that I didn't get any brown paint in, so I could just go back and take my paper towel. I'm going to put just a dab in that little spot. Here's a little spot. You don't want runs though, so make sure you don't have runs going down it. Okay, and then you can take your second one and do the same process. You want to pounce it around all your little designs to get it down in all those little details. Now here's where mine shrunk some. Can you see right there where mine shrunk some? So I'm going to put some of the brown in there. I think I'm going to do my next class on Google Meet. So that I can see y'all too. That way I can see my classmates. And then you're just going to pounce it to get the biggest part off. You don't want any drips. Now the reason we put the finish on it first is if you would not have put the finish, this would just make it look dirty looking. It would have painted over the paint. And that's not the look we're going for. think Ann's going to watch later. Okay, and then you're going to take your last one, and this is where it'll really show up on this one. On whichever one you painted orange. And you want to take your time because this has lots of detail and you want to get in all that detail. And if you think it's too thin for that top part, you can put a little more plain old paint in it. Which that's what I'm doing. I'm putting some straight paint on it. Not watered down. Because I really want it to go in around those details. This is where it looks bad before it looks good. It helps sometimes to turn it upside down and do like this. So you can do it underneath those little molds. And then you're gonna now that looks scary. Now just get your paper towel. And just pat. This is another reason why it was better to wait a day. Because this would have been so much harder to do when it was still damp. My stem curls under a lot. Now I'm going to take my baby wipe and wipe the top of the leaves, but I don't want to go down in the dark part. I want that to stay that way. I have a couple little blocks. Sometimes I use these little blocks to set things on. I'm going to set that on those little blocks. The stem on this one curls around a lot. Oh, I love how this is my favorite one. Now you don't want drips, so make sure you don't have any drips. Now see right here I rubbed too hard. If you rub too hard, you're going to do like I did right there and pull the paint off. But I can go back and touch that up with my paint. And I'm actually just going to do it with my finger. So don't rub too hard. Right there's a spot I did too. If you rub some spots off, you can go back with your paint and touch it up. Now, if that's too much distressing for you, you can wipe more of it off. But you do not want runs. That makes it look tacky. Oh, yeah, mine looks good. All right, here's my finished pumpkin. Let's see if I can turn the light on. Is there? Well, how's yours looking? Is it looking good? I love how this technique does. Now, when this is completely dry, I have you should have some left. If you have enough big top left, when this is dry, you can big top them again for a shiny finish. And I wished I had put some pennies from heaven in your pack, because this dark green needs some pennies from heaven. And I know you don't have any, but I'm going to add some to mine to show you what it would look like. And I wished I had added you a little tiny bit of pennies from heaven. This is the pennies from heaven. I don't have any of these in right now, but I've got some supposed to be coming, but orders are slow. Orders are like taking 6 weeks. I do have the copper patina, but I don't have any of the copper. I mean, I do have the gold patina. So I'm just going to show you what you could do to add a little color to this dark one. And I know you don't have this. But if you have some gold paint, you can do it with gold paint, gold acrylic paint. It won't look quite the same, but I'm only going to do this on this one, this dark green. I wished I had put some in for you. That makes that one look better. So, if you want to, your very last step, go back and make sure none of it's dripping. Sometimes it wants to drip down the little pieces in the pumpkin. Like mine wants to drip right here a little bit. And if you see any little spots, like right there's a little white spot, I'm just going to take a little bit of my paint. I could do it with a brush, but I'm just going to do it with my finger. And kind of dab it and touch that little spot up. I don't really see any spots on the other one, just right there. And you want to make sure you don't have drips. And you can take a hairdryer and dry it. I think mine's going to be fine. So you have to take a picture of your pumpkins and let me see what you did. Here's my finished orange one. Still a little wet. Here's the one I just added the copper patina to that. And here's my little blue one. I love the blue with the little rooster. Okay, Debbie. And Ann, when you join, I love old 57. That's one of my favorite. It's so versatile. You can use it in so many different ways. And you still have a little paint, so pick you out a little project and do you another little project because you've got enough paint to do something else. It's amazing how far that paint goes. Like my old 57, I have almost a whole full cup full. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions? I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to show you what I think I'm going to do tomorrow. I can't decide. I'm waffling. Either I'm going to do this tomorrow or I'm going to do this. Oh, you can't see it. Can you see it? It's a little wooden Christmas ornament thing. And I did the clay trees. And here's snowflake. And here's a tree bough. I haven't decided what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I might do those tomorrow. Or I might do something pumpkin yet, too. Okay. I enjoyed it, Debbie. Send me a message if you have any questions, and if you want to make those look a little shiny, you could put another coat of Big Top on them. If you're out of Big Top in your little cup, any kind of spray sealer will do. I wouldn't put them outside unless they're on a covered porch. The rain, I sealed mine. I sealed some pots with some outdoor sealer, and they lasted all summer. And then all of a sudden, when it rained really, really hard, it melted some of it. So I wouldn't put it outside. Okay. Any questions? Have fun. You can find some pumpkins at AC Moore. No, AC Moore's out of business. At Michael's or maybe Walmart, but I doubt it. I think they were almost out. But I noticed that Michael's in their sale paper and the Sunday paper had some pumpkins yet. They're kind of pricey even at half price. And I don't know about Hobby Lobby. Take a picture and let me see them. Put them on this page. And then and if I can, I'll share it to the other pages. Enjoyed it. We're doing another one. I'm working up 2 more classes. I've got 2 more class ideas. Did you see my block letters I did with the Happy Thanksgiving and on the back Merry Christmas? I'm going to make that a kit in the lesson. And I think I'm going to I've ordered some of these, and I think I'm going to do some of these as a kit. Okay. Enjoyed it. Bye-bye.